Hello students, in this video I have a CBSE class 11 chapter from Snapshots, Ranga's marriage. In this chapter we will cover a few parts of the chapter, so it will be known as part 1 of the chapter. Let's discuss about the author first. The author of this chapter is Masti Venkatesh Iyengar. He was an Indian author. He was from Karnataka. He was born in 1891 in Kolar district, Karnataka. His pen name was Srinivas. Before practicing as a writer, before coming into the field of literature, he was a district magistrate, means he was a IS officer. He was professor also, worked as a professor also, and thereafter he drifted towards writer. So he was a versatile, genius personality, and he died in the year 1986. Now let's discuss about the theme of this, the title of this chapter, Ranga's marriage. Ranga is the name of the hero of this chapter. He is the protagonist, the main character of this chapter. Along with him, along with Ranga, there is another character named Ratna, and there is another character that is Shastri. Author himself is involved in this chapter, and a few more. But this this person Ranga is the main character of this chapter, and his marriage has been discussed. Now let's discuss the theme of this chapter. The theme of this chapter is that the Ranga's marriage is a conflict between tradition and modernity. In modern age, we believe in different type of marriages, but in traditional, as per traditional way, we believe in only arranged marriage, and it has been tried to the author has tried to suggest us that the traditional thought and the traditional way of marriage is highly accepted by the society, which is called arranged marriage, and he is supporting that. Ranga's marriage is arranged in this chapter. So this title is the main theme of this title is conflict between traditional thought and modern thought, and author is supporting traditional thought, which is about marriage, which is arranged marriage. Now let's see that what we will see in this basically in this chapter. Ranga, the son of accountant. Ranga, as I told, that he is the main character of this chapter. He is the son of an accountant. He is one of the rare breed. He has been a rare breed, means he belonged to a class of people which was not easily found in those days. You will find later on that author has discussed about English language in this chapter also, that how English was a precious language 10 years or 20 years before, while very few people knew about English. Very few people could speak English, but nowadays it has become so common. Ranga was the son of accountant. He was from a rich family, and that's why he was sent to a city for higher studies. And from while he returned from there, he was efficient in English language. He can speak English also, and and all the people were surprised to listen he speaking English, and that's why he has been called a rare breed. Means not easily available in those days actually among the village folk. He was a rare breed among the village folk people who has been the city to pursue his studies. And who means Ranga? Ranga went to city for his studies. When he returned to his village, and when he returned from city to village after completing his education from the city of Bangalore, he went to Bangalore for his higher studies, and from there he studied to his village. The crowd mill around his house. The crowd mill means gathered around his house to see, to feel, to see whether he has changed or not. Means people are quite curious to know that a person has returned from a city, because in those days it was not common that village people could visit cities. Ranga was one of the rarest person to visit city, and even for educational purpose. In ancient time, very few people visited cities, and if they visited for the earning purpose. They visited for the livelihood. But Ranga was the first man. Actually, you can say that he was a rare person to visit from his village to city. That's why while he returned from Bangalore, people came to see him, that he was changed or not. His ideas about marriage are now quite different, or are they? Now people also wanted to notice that his ideas about, because he has returned from the city, so now perhaps his ideas would have been changed, and in place of supporting arranged marriage, perhaps would have been supporting some other form of marriage. So they wanted to check that his ideas, his principles are changed or not. or still the principles are remaining same. When you see the little, when you see the this title, some of you may ask Ranga's marriage. If you see the title of this chapter, you will ask that too. Ranga's marriage, so simple title. Why not Ranganath Viva? Means author wants to say that you may think that why author has given so simple a topic. You will think that author should have provided a better, glorious and attractive title rather than Ranga's Viva. It should have been Ranganath Viva or Ranganath Bijay. Well, yes, okay, it may be. Author says, I know I could have used some other mouth-filling one like Jagannath Bijay. He said that I could have provided another title also rather than this Ranganath Viva, Ranganath Vijay or Jagannath Vijay. I could have provided Jagannath Vijay also or Girija Kalyan. Means these titles are very meaningful and very attractive mouth-filling. Means here author is commenting on the tradition of such few writers who they try to provide a very attractive title to attract the attention of the readers, but actually they don't focus about the content and they don't focus about the message which the lesson imparts to the common people. But here author says that title doesn't matter for me. I don't believe in only attractive titles. I believe in attractive content actually. But then this is not about Jagannath victory or Girija wedding, that is Jagannath Vijay. So author says that I would have provided Jagannath Vijay or Girija Kalyan also the title of this chapter rather than Ranga's marriage. But I thought that this chapter is not going to deal about the Jagannath victory. Jagannath is a god actually, or Girija wedding. Girija is also a goddess. Or Girija wedding. It is about our own Ranga marriage, and he says that it is about my own Ranga's marriage. It means Ranga is the native of author's village. So he said it is about my own Ranga's marriage, and hence no fancy title. And that's why I thought that it is not better to provide a fancy title. Hosahalli is our village. He said that the name of my village is Hosahalli. You must have heard of it. Author says that you must have heard of it, all the readers. Perhaps you must have heard about Hosahalli. No. If author will ask us Hosahalli, then what we will reply? That no, we have not listened this name anytime on previous occasion, Hosahalli. Means your answer will be no. Author says no, you are saying that you have not listened the name of my village. Okay, what a pity, but what a sad it is. It is not your fault. Here author is commenting on a tradition. Let's see that on what he is commenting. He says that, but it is not your fault. If you have not heard the name of my village, and if you don't know about it, Hosahalli, it's a small village in Karnataka, it is not your fault. There is no mention of it in any geography book, because there is no mention of it in any of the geography book, because there is my village has no place. My village is not mentioned in any kind of geographical maps. Those sahibs in England, because he said that while India was a slave of Britishers, so those sahibs means the great lords and the officers of England, writing in English, because they were English people, they write in English, probably do not know that such place exists. Probably they don't bother about my village, that any such type of place named Hosahalli exists in India, and so make no mention of it, and perhaps that's why they don't mention my village in the map of India. Our own people too forget about it. He says that okay, Britishers were a foreigner. If they didn't mention about my village, that I can understand. But perhaps our people also, means after India got freedom, still my village was not mentioned in the map. What do you think? Students, don't be confused. Actually, here it is not. It can't be that the village of author Hosahalli will not be mentioned in the map. He wants to say that there is no development at my village. There is means no government, no governing body, no responsible officials. Never they take care about my village. So my village is undeveloped. That's why he wants to say that Britishers couldn't care about the development of my village, and even after independence, freedom, our own people are not giving any kind of they are not taking any interest in the development of my village. You know how it is. You know that how it was possible. They are like a flock of sheep. Means people of India are like a flock of sheep. Means they follow the same pattern. Either it is good or bad. One sheep walks into, and what the flock of sheep does? One sheep walks into a pit. The rest blindly follow it. Means rest don't think that the first one fell into a pit or into a ditch or into a well. They don't bother about that, or into a river. Others follow blindly and they also fall into that. And whatever the pattern was set by the Britishers, they left undeveloped place is still undeveloped, followed by Indian government as well after independence. When both both means the sahibs in England and our own geographers and the geographers of India have not referred to it, if they have not gave importance to my village, you cannot expect the poor cartographer, you cannot expect that the poor cartographer is a person who makes a map, but he is not having any responsibility, because the geographers will tell the cartographer to mention the places name only, mention the places only, cartographer will show those places. So cartographer has no, and we are like cartographers. So if we have not given the place to this Hosa Ali author's village, means if his place is undeveloped, lower officials are not responsible, the higher officials are responsible to remember to put into the map. So cartographer, we can't expect from the cartographer that he will remember to put my village into the map of India. Can you imagine it, that is it possible? No, cartographer is not responsible, and so there is not even the shadow of our village on any map, and that's why there is no shadow, not even a single trace is available of my village in any of the Indian map. Sorry, I started somewhere. He says, author says, okay, so I'm very sorry that I started somewhere else and then went off in some other direction. He started with a title discussion, but then he went about the development of his village and his village popularity. If the state of Mysore is to Bharatvarsh, he says that even after the Britishers discarded, they forgot to mention my village name in the map. Our own geographers, means the people of the government of my country, forget about it. But if the state of Mysore, it is in Karnataka, if the state of Mysore is to Bharatvarsh, he says that if Mysore is in Bharatvarsh, is in India, what the sweet Karigar Dabbu is a sweet which is it's a sweet dish that you can find in Karnataka actually. So Karigadabu, it's a South Indian fried sweet. It's to festive meal, and this Karigadabu is prepared on a special festival occasion. He says that if Mysore is in India, and then in Mysore a very popular sweet is there that is named Karigadabu. It is in Kannada language, that is a fried sweet actually. Then Hosahalli is to Mysore state. It means then Hosahalli, and then if Mysore is in India, then Hosahalli is in Mysore. State in Mysore state. What the filling is to the Karigar Dabbu, and this Karigar Dabbu sweet has some, means inside the Karigar Dabbu we feel something, some stuff is filled. That filling is prepared in Hosahalli. Means Karigar Dabbu is a sweet, and inside that we feel something. We feel a mixture of coconut and sugar. So that coconut and sugar mixture is prepared in Hosahalli. So if you know Mysore, if you know Karigar Dabbu, then you must remember Hosahalli also, because Karigar Dabbu is incomplete because of the contribution of Hosahalli, without contribution of Hosahalli, because Hosahalli is the place where the fillings are prepared. What I have said is absolutely true. Now author says that don't think that I am exaggerating my statement. What I have said to you, that is true. Believe me. I will not object to your questioning it, but I will stick to my opinion. If you are having any question in your mind that at one hand I am saying that my village is not popular, and other hand I am saying that the Karigar Dabbu sweet, the filling of Karigar Dabbu sweet is prepared in my village. At this opinion I am quite stick. I don't want to change it. If you have any doubt, that's your problem. I am not the only one who speaks glowingly of Hosahalli. I am not the single person who speaks so brightly and appreciate this place Hosahalli. We have a doctor in our place also. There is a doctor in my village as well. Author says his name is Gunda Bhatt. The name of this doctor is Gunda Bhatt. He agrees with me, and this doctor also agrees. Author, he also agrees that Hosahalli is the place where that filling stuff is prepared of Karigar Dabbu. He has been to quite a few places, and this Dr. Gunda Bhatt has visited so many places in his life. No, not England. Author is making again here a satirical remark. Says, no. He has not visited England. It means that he was an Indian, and while India was a slave of Britishers, many Indians supported Britishers, and that's why India became a slave for such a long time, such a long period. So simply say that no. If you say that he has gone to England, also means he supported Britishers. No, it is not so. If anyone asks him whether he has been there, if anyone asks that have you gone to England, if anyone asks to this Dr. Gunda Bhatt that if you have gone to England, he says no. Anna is if you have listened it, Anna is a word which is a kind of address which is addressed to the elders in Kannada language, elders. So doctor replied, "No, Anna, I have left that to you. If you want to go to England, you may go. I don't like running around like a flea pestered dog, because running around here and there like a flea pestered dog, that is a kulli wala kutta, that you can say, it's not for me." He said that that is not for me. I have seen a few places in my life. This is the statement of doctor. Doctor says that I have seen a few places in my life, means I visited many places in my life, though actually, as a matter of fact, the truth is that he has seen many, and actually the doctor has seen many places. We have some mango trees in our village. Now author is describing about his village. He says that we have some mango trees in our village. Come visit us. He says that come my village anytime and visit, and I will give you a raw mango from one of them, and I will provide you a raw mango, one of my mango trees, one of the mango trees which is available in my village. Do not eat it, but be careful. Do not eat that raw mango. Just take a bite. Just have a bite, a small bite. The soreness is sure to get straight to your Brahmarandra, because the mango is so sore in taste that if you will eat it, the soreness will reach straightly towards your Brahmarandra, means all your sense organs will be active at the same moment as you will eat that mango. It is so tasted. I once took one such fruit home. He says that once I took one such fruit, means the raw mango, to home, and a chutney was made of it, out of it, and the chutney was made out of it, that mango. All of us ate it, and all the family members ate that chutney. The cough we suffered from, and thereafter all the family members have cough. And after that, it was when I went for the cough medicine, and then he went to the doctor for cough medicine. That the doctor told me, and then doctor told him about the special quality of the fruit, that it is the special quality of this fruit, means this raw mango, that if you will eat a raw mango, you will have to suffer from cough. Just as the mango is special, just as mango is special in my village, so is everything else around our village. So everything available in my village is very, very special. We have a creeper growing in the ever so fine water of the village pond. The author has a pond in his village, and he says that in that pond there is a creeper that grows all the time and looks very attractive. Its flowers are feast to behold, and that creeper bears a flower also. And feast means very satisfying, very pleasing experience. And if you see the flower of those creeper in the pond, that will look very, very beautiful. Behold means look. Get 2 leaves from the creeper. The creeper's leaves are so big size that if you're taking only 2 leaves when you go to the pond for your bath, if you're going to the pond for your bath, and when you're returning, you have to fetch only 2 leaves from there, and you will not have to worry about not having leaves on which to serve the afternoon meal. And when you have to take your afternoon meal, there was no actually still the pot of in which we took food today. He says that if you are carrying 2 leaves of that creeper, and then you have to take your afternoon meal, you need not to worry that in which pot you will take your meal, means on that leaf you can have your food. You will say I am rambling. You may say that I am rambling, means I am exaggerating and I am telling about my village which is not real. It is always like that when the subject of our village comes up, because it always happens whenever anyone asks about our village. We say little bit of exaggerating. We give an exaggerating explanation of that. But enough now. If any one of you would like to visit us, but if any one of you wants to prove from me that my village is actually beautiful as I am describing, if you like to visit us, drop me a line. Please, before coming here, drop me a line, means write a line to me and drop that letter into mailbox. That letter will come to me. I will let you know where Hosahalli is. I will inform you that where is the Hosahalli, my village, and what things are like here, and what are the important things of famous things of my village. The best way to getting to know a place is to visit it. I think the best way to know any place is to visit that personally. Don't you agree? I think you all will be agreeing with my point. What I am going to tell you is something that happened 10 years ago. Now author says that I am going to describe you a very special incident which happened 10 years before in my life. When he has written the story before 10 years that it happened, we did not have many people who knew English. He said that we did not have so many people in my village who knew English language. Then our village accountant was the first one. At that time, our village accountant was the first one who had enough courage to send his son to Bangalore to study. He sent his son to Bangalore for higher studies. It is different now. But at this time now it is different. There are many who know English nowadays. There are so many people who know English during the holidays, and if you're having your holidays, he asking us that if you have your holidays, you come across them on every street, and if you visit Karnataka, you can find at every street people is speaking English. But in those days it was not so. English was a rare language. Talking English, people, you may find people talking in English. Those days we did not speak in English, but those days we did not speak in English language, nor did we bring in English words while talking. And total English speaking is a different. It is far away. Even in speaking in Kannada language, sometimes we suppose that we are speaking in Hindi, and sometimes we introduce some English words in it. That was also not you can say a kind of tradition in those days. Means they could not introduce even a single word during their talking while they're talking in Kannada. What has happened is disgraceful, believe me, and whatever happened with me, that is very disgraceful, and that is very disrespecting, that is very disappointing, believe me. The other day, what happened? The other day, next day, I was in Ramarao's house. Ramarao is one of the villagers of author's village house, when they bought a bundle of firewood, and I was at Ramarao's house, and they bought a bundle of firewood. Ramarao's son came out to pay for it, and son of Ramarao came out to pay for that firewood, the price. He asked the woman, he asked the lady who was selling that firewood, how much should I give you? She says, he would have definitely spoken in Kannada language, this is statement. He said that how much should I give you? 4 pies. The lady answered 4 pies. She said, the boy told her he did not have any change. Let's focus about this word change. This is English word. Ramarao's son told, while she told that 4 pies, he said that, oh, I don't have any change. Change that change money, and ask her to come the next morning. And he said that please come next morning, I will give you. Right now I have no change. The poor woman did not understand the English word change. English was so rare in those languages that the poor lady did not understand the English word change, and she thought that he is saying that I will not give you money, and went away muttering to herself. And went away muttering means she angrily went away from there, whispering. I too did not know. Author says, author was an IAS officer actually, but author did not know at that time he could not understand the English word change at that time. Later when I went to Ranga's house, and later he went to Ranga's house and asked him, and then he asked him, I understood what it meant, and then he understood that what is the meaning of the word change. So rare was English in those days. This priceless commodity, the English language. English language is a very priceless commodity. Commodity means thing. Priceless means very, very precious. English language is a very precious possession. Means if you learn English, that is a very precious possession for you. Was not so widespread in our village a decade ago. Means 10 years ago, almost 10 years ago, author says that in my village it is not very widespread. It was not very common language. That was why Ranga's homecoming was a great event, and that's why Ranga's homecoming, returning from Bangalore after his study, was a great event. People rushed to his doorstep announcing. People rushed towards, as people got the news that Ranga has returned from Bangalore after his study. People ran towards his village, saying that the accountant's son has come. Means the people are crying, the accountant's son has come, the accountant's son has come. They were so happy. The boy who had gone to Bangalore for his studies is here. People are also crying. The boy who has gone to Bangalore for his studies, he is here, like this it seems. And come, Ranga is here. And they were going self, and they were inviting others also, come. Ranga is here because Ranga has come. So people are very curious to see Ranga. Let's go and have a look. They were saying that please come and have a look at Ranga. Attracted by the crowd, I too went. Author says that I was also attracted by the crowd, that why so many people are going towards Ranga's house. I also went. Author says I also went and stood in the courtyard, into the courtyard. It's the mid portion of the house courtyard, and asked, why have all these people come? He says, author asks that why have all these people come? There is no performing monkey here. There is no any performing monkey. There is no magical show is going on. So why there is so much crowd? A boy or fellow without any brains. He says that while I spoke this statement, that why have all these people come here? There is no performing monkey. A boy among the crowd, in that crowd, the fellow, author said that the fellow, that man was without brains, means senseless, said loud enough for everyone to hear. Means he said in a loud tone which could hear everyone, what are you doing here then? Then he asked to the author that if we all are here and there is no performing, then what are you doing here? A youngster, immature. Other says that he was an youngster, he was immature, not very mature, and without any manners and having no proper manners, thinking that all these things were now of the past. I thought that okay, he spoke as he liked, so he decided to forget this incident. I kept quiet, he kept quiet, he didn't reply that boy. Seeing so many people there, Ranga came out with a smile on his face. Seeing so many people gathered for him, Ranga came out of his house smiling, have a smile on his face. Had we all gone inside, author said that if we had all entered inside the Ranga's house, the place would have turned into the what people call the black hole of Calcutta. The place would have been converted into similar as the black hole of Calcutta. Black hole of Calcutta, if you know, this is an historical event. It was a dungeon. Dungeon is, you can say, a kind of it is a kind of basement, underground prison, dungeon in Fort William, Calcutta, in which the troops of Siraj-Dowla, if you know very well, the king of Bengal, Siraj-Dowla, the troops of Siraj-Dowla held the British prisoners, and they kept them into that prison, Fort William. So that is called Black Hole of Calcutta, and they kept the Britishers imprisoned in that place, Black Hole of Calcutta, in Fort William, on 20th June in 1750. That is all. So a lot of British soldiers were captured by Nawab Siraj-Dowla army, and they all were kept into that Fort William palace, and that is called even in history today Black Hole of Calcutta. So he said that if we all have entered inside the house of Ranga, it would have been the black hole of Calcutta. Thank God it did not. But thank God it did not. Means we did not enter inside the house of Ranga. We all were outside. Everyone was surprised to see that Ranga was the same as he had been 6 months ago. Author is making a humorous, comical remark here. Everyone was surprised to see that Ranga was not changed. Actually, people didn't change, but it is only the curiosity of the people of this village. And they felt that Ranga was appearing same as he was appearing 6 months ago, when he had first left our village. And when he had left our village, that was 6 months ago, Ranga. And while after returning 6 months from Bangalore, he was looking same. An old lady who was near him, an old lady in that crowd who was standing very close to Ranga, ran her hand over the chest of Ranga. For what purpose? Looked into his eyes and said, she looked into the eyes of Ranga and said, running his hand over the chest, the Janevara is still here. Janevara is a kind of, you can say, Upnayan, which is it's a kind of thread, sacred thread, which is wear mostly by Brahmins, Janevara, Upnayan. So she checked that Ranga is wearing that Janevara or not, means after going city he has changed or not. He is still traditional, he is still there. So she found that Janevara is still there. He hasn't lost his caste. So, and then the lady announced that he hasn't lost his means he is still loving his traditions. She went away soon after that, and thereafter he went away. Ranga laughed as he saw all the incidents.